Julian, this is crazy for me, my friend, because, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is our very first interview, even though you and I have known each other for years. Yes or no?
Close. You interviewed me once when I was a kid, 20 years ago at the Rogers Building when Stagger Crossing put out our first record.
That's right. Oh my, you have a better memory than me, my friend. 20 years.
One. It's the
Wow.
20th anniversary this year.
And here's the even better part, the fact that this is the 20th anniversary, but this is also the 50th anniversary of the Juno Awards. And the reason why we are talking is because you are a Juno nominee. Congratulations. Is it one or two nominations that you got?
Two nominations, and I'm catching up for lost time because it's the first and second time that I've ever been nominated in 20 years.
Amazing, man. What we have to do for time to make this stuff happen. Congratulations, man. How do you feel about getting this the double nominations?
Amazing. I feel great about it. I'm so honored. I'm grateful for everybody's support and the accolades. Of course, they're welcome. I'm the type of guy who keeps on pushing forward, and after 20 years, to receive the two nominations, I can tell you that my parents, my folks are super relieved that the music lessons have at least come back into some sort of, you know, forum. And I'm relieved myself. I wasn't sure if it was ever going to happen. I prayed and tried to manifest it many, many times and never had my name called. And this year I decided not even to watch the ceremonies because I just felt like if it didn't, then I'd be a little bit too heartbroken. And it didn't. I cried.
That's amazing, man. What are the categories that you are under and for what body of work of music?
So the body of work is for The Ridge. It's a solo album. It's been getting great press and radio play all around the world. So nice because it's an independent release. I released it myself and recorded and helped produce it. I'm up for Contemporary Folk Artist Album of the Year, and I'm up for Indigenous Artist or Group of the Year.
I'm curious because I've been seeing some posts. Nominees have been getting the what do we call it, the Juno package. Have you received
I
yours
have it.
yet? You
Yes, I
haven't?
just got it. Yeah, it's right here. I've got parts of it. I got this. I've got
Yeah.
a nice little document that says Indigenous Artist or Group of the Year right there.
Fantastic. You get to
And
hang
then
that
I
and
have,
frame it.
yeah, for sure. And then I have the Contemporary Roots Artist of the Year. They even give everybody this Juno, like Uno kit. Like it's the 50th
Yeah.
anniversary Juno Uno. And my
Yeah.
daughter laughed at that.
Can we check that out? Because I did actually, I received a booklet. And, but
Great.
I mean, I'm just a reporter, but you're a nominee. But yeah, if you could grab that, that would be great. Because as I was saying earlier, I've been seeing a lot of people posting this stuff, and I'm just like, this is amazing.
The Juno
Ah!
Uno, pretty
Oh my
cool,
God.
huh? Yeah, I haven't opened the packaging yet, but it's there with the games, the rules of Uno, 50th anniversary card game, and it comes with the 50th anniversary coin. It's solid gold, right? You can bite down on
Wow.
that.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So that I
That's
got that. I'm not really sure what this is.
that's your Juno blanket, it looks like.
Yeah, it's like maybe it's a picnic blanket or something. I'm not really sure what it is.
I think it is. I think it's one of those. It's a picnic blanket that you open it up, and probably in the middle of it, it says Juno. I actually have a red one, but it's CBC, and right in the middle of it is the big CBC logo. So most likely that's what it is. Man, that's a keeper. Trust me. Anytime you get any of those things, they are great to use. Believe me on that.
I know, I love it. I remember when I was signed to Warner, they gave me a toiletry bag, and it still gets used.
Oh man, the fun stuff that we have gotten over these last 2 decades, man. When you think about what you've done in the consistency and the hard work And even though with the industry changing, whether it be record companies buying out other record companies, social media now being so present, um, you know, 20 years ago we would have been talking about Napster. Now we talk about Spotify. What is it about
I was there for that.
yourself? What was that?
I was there for the Napster
There
thing.
you
Yep.
go. So what do you think it is about yourself and the staying power and being able to work as hard as you have to reach where we are now, where you can call yourself a double Juno nominee in 2021?
I got it. It's one of the things what I've always had this, and you know, when I see something that I really, 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 really want, and I use the word 3 times because I think it reinforces it. When I really, really, really want something, I go for it, and I envision it, and I see it, and I write. You know, it's an interesting thing. I go through papers that I keep stored in boxes and things, even just to find lyrics or something. And sometimes I stumble on pieces of paper that I wrote, let's call it 20 years ago, 10 years ago, what my goals were. Juno, to win a Juno is on a piece of paper that I saw, to win a Grammy. And this record was shortlisted for a Grammy this year and things like that. So it's about visualization for me. It's also about dedication for me. It's about patience, perseverance. And when it comes to talent, I'm never going to say that it's about that for me at all, because it isn't. I know so many talented artists. I'd like to think I'm a talented artist. I'm happy that others think so as well. But it's not really about that for me. What it is for me is about being a writer, and trying to heal myself, and through writing, and hope that it does the same for other people. It's more of a conduit thing than it is to be an ego thing. It's not really what I'm interested in.
But how do you think you've changed from the first time when I had a chance to speak with you 20 years ago to the person that you are today?
Well, I was a bit of a punk kid then, I can tell you that, for sure. A lot of growing up, became a father, bought a house, things like that, just sort of straightened me out a little bit. When the industry wasn't on my side, it seemed that, and it seemed like it never would be. I ended up quitting, and taking a job as a bartender, which was a really big wake up call. I think that everybody should probably take 1 year before they hit the workforce. Like, say they go to post secondary school, and if they're studying to be a doctor, they should take 1 year off just to be in the hospitality industry, to find out what it is to treat people, and be treated. Because you're not always treated great, and you have to treat those people that aren't treating you pretty good if you want to get a tip.
True, very true. How do you think musically, though, that you have grown during that time in the stories and the way you tell your stories through your music?
I think I've gotten a little more comfortable with my lyrics, and I've tried to be a bit more in depth with my storytelling, and my lyrics, and really talk about things that have happened to me, because I think things that have happened to me relate to people a lot more than making up things, or what have you. I think the one thing about this record was that I hadn't really shared too much of my story, um, and this time I did, and people were like, "Oh my goodness, that's what happened to Julian. That happened to me." Or they got the thing about the Ridge is one person wrote about it and said it was almost as if it was the last record to ever come out before this pandemic. Like, it feels like a different time. When you listen to it.
I was to say very, very true. So let's go back to when the concept of the ridge was coming to you. Where did it hit you? Where did it start for you? When did you decide this is now the body of work that I want to tell my story? When did that begin, and then how did it manifest?
I think it started in 2014 when the Julian Taylor Band formed and put out our first record, Tech Noir. There was a song on that record called "Carry Me Home," which was really in depth lyrically, spoke about the love that I had for my grandfather. And from there on, I think I just kept on honing it. I mean, Desert Star, even though it's another Julian Taylor Band record, it has some really poppy, hit sort of oriented songs, but it does have some really meat and potatoes story songs. And then the last Julian Taylor Band record, I think, is like sort of the talking piece to the Ridge. It's the beginning of it, where the lyrics I found I really slaved over really hard, And Avalanche is basically the precursor to the Ridge, where the songs could have either of the songs could have fit on both in a way, just depending on instrumentation and production. But either way, lyrically, they both would have fit.
Well, I want to go back again. You kind of mentioned it, but I want to revisit again. What were the stories that you were telling us in the Ridge?
Oh, right. Okay. Well, there's one song called "Ballad of a Young Troubadour," and that's the story of me hitchhiking across the United States, like northern United States. I made this deal with my mom and dad because I wanted to be like Bob Dylan and Jack Kerouac and Richie Havens and just carry a guitar and a harmonica and figure that all out. So I would take planes and buses and hitchhike. I remember hitchhiking and getting picked up and having my switchblade open in my pocket the whole time during the ride because I was so scared. And it's just the story of like coming of age and trying to make it in the music world before I even knew what the music world was about. It was more about the world out there than the world that the industry sort of caters to. The song "The Ridge" is about my step grandmother and how I used to go down to the farm and live with them for the summers, and it was basically a country kid. I got to be the country mouse, I got to be the city mouse, and talks about that, talks about family members. I'm really writing letters to people that I love and family members that I love and whatnot, and that's really what it's about. I think that I'll continue to really try to extract what it is that I think is important life lessons and stories that I've gone through, even if it's just straight telling the event. Because I mean, I even thought about writing a song. I'll probably do it. You know the feeling that you got when your parents lifted you out of the car and you fell asleep in the car and you were kind of sort of half asleep, half awake, and they would carry you with your clothes on and tuck you into bed. It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
You can write songs about that. And the fact that I get to do that now with my own child is pretty amazing. It's like this whole circle thing. You can just, I think writing a song about that is completely valid.
And it's something that hopefully all of us have been able to go through a beautiful experience. Speaking of experiences, I want to ask though, what is the difference between the Julian Taylor band to say Julian Taylor?
There's a difference because of the song choices that I selected, and there's a different instrumentation. On the Julian Taylor stuff, it's more of an acoustic folk based oriented sort of project. Whereas the Julian Taylor band has this rhythm and blues thing going on to it for it as well. Even though you could interchange some of the songs very easily, when I go out on stage, I can pull out any one of them and interchange them on acoustic guitar or with the bands. But the Julian Taylor stuff is folk oriented for sure.
Are they always separate? Will you ever do a show where somehow they're both together?
I'd like to try. I'd like to try to do, a show like Crosby, Stills, Nash had this record called Four Way Street that I had on vinyl for the longest time. I probably still have it somewhere, but the first set, what they did was they came out and played acoustic guitars and sang harmonies, and then the second set, they just came out and ripped it. I'd love to do that.
Okay, well, fingers are crossed on that. Also, are you still doing the radio show?
Yep, I'm still on Element FM. I do Monday to Fridays, 3 to 7. I'm the afternoon drive host there.
How did that come about, man? And congratulations on that too. What a way to expand your career.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm always open to everything that comes my way, and very grateful for the opportunity to actually sit in that chair and do the show. I do it from home at the moment. I've been doing it at home for a year, obviously. That came about, I guess, just sort of people putting a feeler out for people who may be indigenous, which I am. I'm a mixed. I'm a mixed heritage, and they had sort of asked me if I'd be interested in it after, I believe, hearing an interview or my playlist on CBC Music, and that's how that door opened. So I've been doing that for 3 years now.
So what's it like? I mean, I've done it for like, 30 years. What's it like for you, man, to be behind that microphone? Usually you're the guy who sits on the other side at a radio station, you're being interviewed.
Oh yeah, I mean it's cool. I just think it's about conversations. You know, that's how I look at it. I like you could be the artist and I could be the interviewer and vice versa. And it just so happens that that's what's happening. I just think we're just having a conversation. I don't look at it in any other way, really.
You just gave away the secret of doing great interviews, man, because that's exactly what it is. And so glad that you discovered that, man, which is why you're doing so well. Is there time with all of this? Will you be doing any shows? Will there be any drive-in shows? I mean, we're still dealing with COVID-19 as we speak, but is there drive-in shows? Are there virtual shows? And is there a chance for new music also coming along?
Yeah, I'm working on another Julian Taylor solo project record, so another folk oriented record. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I'm also working on trying to get some live shows. Hopefully, fingers crossed, as everybody out there. I mean, I miss my crew and I miss the musicians and whatnot. Virtual shows have come up. I'm doing something for Indigenous Day Live at the Alma Combo, so that should be fun. But that is really all I've got actually confirmed on the calendar. We've got holds on things. Oh, and the Horseshoe Tavern is supposed to be June 25th, but we're not sure now whether that's moving or not. It's moved now like 3 times.
Yeah, we can thank Mr. Ford for that one. I hope you get it in there. Neil Macombo, I got to tell you something. I'm so glad that they have been giving platforms the way they have for artists to perform. It's amazing what they're doing. If you had a chance to go back, if we can jump in the Back to the Future DeLorean 20 years, and you can go back to that young Julian Taylor kid, what advice do you think you would give him?
Let's hop into the DeLorean and go even further back in time. Let's go check out. Let's go check out Sly Stone concert, man. Let's do this.
That is the best answer I've ever gotten for that question. And I would never even thought about that, man. Yeah, we definitely gonna have to find that DeLorean.
We are going to go see Sly and the Family Stone. Let's book it. Don't worry about the music career until we get back.
As we're wrapping this up, any word yet? Do you know what's happening for you with the Junos? Could there be a chance of nothing?
No, I'm not. Well, yes. Sorry to correct you. We are doing a taping for CBC Music. All the Indigenous nominees will be having a platform to showcase a couple of songs.
Fantastic. Look, my friend, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. Congratulations on the double Juno nomination. Man, I'm hoping the next time we get a chance to talk, we could be talking about Grammy nomination, because if you have that type of dream, man, you've proven that you can make things happen. So I know it's going to happen for you, and I cannot wait for that. In the meantime, though, fingers are crossed for you on this. Like I said, congratulations, all the best, and let's definitely talk soon, my friend.
You bet. Congratulations to all the nominees. Whatever will be, will be.